Hello, everyone. Tina Hogan Grant here. I'm going to wait for a few of you to join me. That took a while. I've not done a live in a while, so it's having me go through all kinds of hoops to go live. So I'm a few minutes late, but I haven't done these solo chats in, I think, a couple of months. So I have been busy with the holidays like everybody else and my new puppy, Jack. So now I'm trying to get back on schedule and do a live chat once a month, usually on the last Friday of the month. So if you can see me or hear me, let me know in the comments. And I hope to be here for probably 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much I have to say. But I enjoy these solo chats. And like I said, it's been a while, it's been a couple of months. So I want to get back into the swing of things and do this live chat once a month. I love to connect with the readers, my readers, and see what you've all been doing, what you're up to, and just have a chit chat with a cup of tea or your drink of choice. And I see that Virgie Lane is here. Hey, Virgie, how are you? I hope you had a good Christmas, and I hope you're feeling better too. I know you've had pneumonia, so I hope you are doing much better. And uh, getting healthy again. And then Karen is here. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Thank you for joining me. And I think you saw my post, but we played that game, left, right, center. We had so much fun. It was a blast. The grandkids have never played it before, so they loved it too. I think we played it for like 3 hours. And we played for money. We played for pennies, quarters, and dimes. And Luke was so stoked because he finished with like $5, so he was really happy. So it was we really enjoyed that game. So thank you for telling me about it. And I think it's going to be a regular game now, except the kids will probably deplete my change jar if it's our game of choice. But no, it was a really good game, a lot of laughs, and we all played it, so it was a lot of fun. And Virgie is saying she is feeling much better. I am so happy to hear it. I am glad to hear that. Knock on wood, I don't get sick. It's the worst. But I hear there's a lot of things going around right now. People are getting sick with pneumonia, colds, COVID, whatever. Flu season is here. But I have not got sick yet. I don't want to get sick. And then I see, oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Oh, Karen says, good to hear. And then Carol Noose is here. Hey, Carol, good to see you. I hope you had a good Christmas. And I'm going to wish you all a happy new year. Can you believe it's going to be 2025 in what? What are we on? 27? So 4 or 5 days. I swear, the older I get, the faster these years just zip by. It just seems like we just had a Christmas, a few months ago, even though it's been a year. And I cannot believe that we are just a few days away from 2025. I remember when, the 1990s, 1980s, that the year 2000 just seemed like a space age. And it just seemed like, neons away. But here we are. 2025 is right around the corner. And then I see that Lori is here. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. I did have a good Christmas. Mark came up with his family. It was nice. We had a turkey dinner, all the fixings. Played the game, left, right, center. Did all kinds of stuff. James baked some cookies, and we just had a nice day. It was a really nice day. Opened gifts, hung out with the family. So it was a really, really nice day. Let's see. And then Lori also says that's almost happy. Yes, it is. My birthday on New Year's Eve. What a day to be born. Many years ago, I did celebrate my birthday out in the town. Many of them I don't remember now. But now I stay home, stay safe. It's a quiet birthday. That's how I like it. And it is also my son's birthday, Mark. His is on the 29th. I think he is going to be 35 this year. So I'm really feeling my age when he tells me how old he is. I don't want to know. I'm just like, happy birthday, Mark. Another year ahead, but I think he's going to be 35. So he's birthday on the 29th, and mine is on New Year's Eve. And I tell Gordon, you've got Christmas and 2 birthdays, and you're done for the year. You don't have to worry about it. Now you get it all done in 1 week. So Yeah, that I think is on Tuesday. My son's is on Sunday. And then we have Robin Browning here. Hi, Robin. And she's saying the year did fly by. It did. Even Christmas went by. I mean, what gets me with Christmas is it takes you months of preparation, for the meals, the food, the presents, the wrapping, all of that stuff. And then poof, it's over in a day. I mean, Mark and his family, they celebrate Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and we call it Boxing Day in England, and Mark still calls it Boxing Day, but they have Christmas Eve at her mom's house, so they open gifts there. Then they come to my house on Christmas Day, and then on Boxing Day, they have Christmas at their house and open gifts from Mark and Alex. So they have a 3-day Christmas, which, they've done for years. And the boys love it because every day for 3 days, they get to open gifts. So their Christmas lasts a lot longer than, ours. Karen Gideon, happy birthday. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. And Brenda is here. Hey, Brenda, good to see you. And thank you for the happy birthday. And we have Sheng. Sheng, I can never say your name right. I do apologize every time. She says you're so right. It takes a village to prepare. Then it's it is. All the preparation we do, but it's a lot of fun. And it is my favorite holiday out of all the holidays in the year. I do like St. Patrick's Day though, and that's a special meaning because of my dad. My dad was Irish. So I always think of my dad around St. Patrick's Day. And as you know, we have a party in the group in memory of my dad, and just a great way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So those are my two favorite holidays. All the other ones are like, I'm okay with them. They're there, but I don't go out of my way. I don't do a lot of celebration. I can't think of any other one I do. I think those are the only two: St. Patrick's Day in the group and Christmas. Let's see. Carol says, my son was born on New Year's Eve, so you know what I was doing that. There you go. Yep, New Year's Eve. That's when I was 31st of December. That was it. My dad was so thrilled because I made it for the tax write-off. So he was happy I was born because I was a tax write-off. So you're welcome, Dad. And we have Renee here. Hey, Renee. Good to see you. Happy New Year. I'm saying Happy New Year because I will not be doing a live now. Wait a minute. I'm clicking buttons too fast. I have to stop what I'm doing. This is a new platform, so I have to be careful of what I push on the buttons here because it's a slow. It's not as quickly to respond. Hold on 1 second. There we go. When I put up a comment, it takes a second to show. So I click on another one thinking it had showed. So forgive me if I mess up on the comments. Let's see who's this one. This is Robin. She says, I got the decorations outside. I got the decorations outside down and put away. Monday, I will be doing the inside. Time to get house back in order. Yeah, for us, this year, normally I have the tree up a week or two before. But with wonderful puppy Jack, who is into everything, we couldn't do that this year. I could put a fence around it, but he would just jump over it or knock it over or whatever. I have a fence around my grass, a part of the grass. He has half the grass that he can play on, and the other half I'm trying to save. So I don't care what he does with the other half of the grass. We can regrow it later when he's, not on the grass, out of trouble. But the part that I separate the grass, he now jumps it. He jumps over that fence, and the fence is about 4 foot high. So putting a fence around the Christmas tree would not work. So we decided we put the tree up Christmas morning. Jack was on the grass. And the kids came up, and as soon as they left, the tree came down. So we had a 1-day Christmas. Decorations go up in the morning. Decorations came down in the evening. And it worked out fine. And then, Jack remained on the grass. And that's how we did it. Because otherwise, he would have been into everything. All the presents. And he loves paper. So I can just see him opening every gift. So we had to change our Christmas routine a little bit this year for Jack. But that's okay. He's going to be 11 months. He was born February 2nd, so he's 10 and a half months. He'll be 11 months January. And he's still just so hyper. He really is. Chang says, Jack is just being himself, Jack. He sure is. He sure is. He's a handful, but we love him. He's just so entertaining. There's many times I want to take a video of him, but my phone is like across the room. And by the time I get my phone, whatever he's doing is over with. But I just laugh so much with this dog. He is bringing me so much joy. He really is, and I just never know what to expect with him. He's full of surprise. Oh, what he did yesterday. I'm in my loft. This is where I do my writing. And I have stairs that go down to the main house, but they're narrow stairs and they're steep. We still have to put a railing on them. We'll get there. But anyways, yesterday I put a TV up here while Gordon was at work, and so he came up here and wanted to check it out yesterday when he came home. So we were both up here checking out the TV. Jack was downstairs. Well, all of a sudden I look behind me, and here's Jack in the loft. He had climbed the stairs up to the loft very slowly, but it's like, oh no! So now we have to watch him around the bottom of the stairs, because these aren't regular stairs. These are like almost like a ladder, but they're a little bit sturdier than the ladder. But now he knows how to climb the loft stairs. So leave it to Jack, but that's what he did yesterday. Lori says a baby gate. That wouldn't work because it's all open at the bottom. There's no wall. There's a wall on one side of the stairs, but the other side is open to the what do you call it? Main room. So we're gonna have to get these railings up. I don't know, but that's Jack for you. You want to know where we were, and he came up to the bloody loft. It's like, oh no. So I have to be real careful if he's down below. In fact, I don't leave him in the house by himself down below if I'm working up here in the loft. That's not going to work, because who knows what he gets into. Like right now, I'm up here talking to you guys. He's on the grass. So he is not allowed to be unsupervised in the house. But he'll mature. He'll get better. He will. It's just like I said many times before, he's the most active puppy I've ever had. And that's okay. He loves his toys. He loves to be active. He loves to know what I'm doing. He's into everything. When I'm washing dishes, he's right there at the sink with his two paws looking into the sink bowl. I'm peeling carrots. He's right there watching me, so he's just right there doing everything. So, Lori talked about the keep away from the tree, the baby gate. That might have worked, but like I said, he now jumps a 4-foot fence. That is a part of the grass he's not supposed to go on. Well, that's no longer happening. He goes on that grass now, but it's still looking good. Anyways, I am thrilled to be here. I am thrilled to be chatting with you. I have missed these, what I call solo chats that I do on the last Friday of every month. And it's mainly because of the holidays. I just couldn't schedule a chat. There's something going on. It seemed like every last Friday of the month. I think it's been 2 or 3 months that I have not done one of these. And then Jack has been keeping me busy. So it's just really hard to schedule any chats. But now that the holidays are behind us, New Year is right around the corner. I figured, I want to get back on track with my regular scheduling and get back on track with my writing, which is also being in a slump, not a slump, but being put on, I wouldn't say on hold, just not as productive as I like it to be. So I'm starting off today with the last Friday of the month with a solo chat. I want to get you caught up on what my plans are for the year, what I've been doing. I want to hear if you have any goals for the new year, anything planned for the new year. So just like my regular chit chat that I'm going to do anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what's going on. I do have to leave at 3 though. I got to get to the post office. They close at 4, and I got to go down there and take care of some stuff. But we got plenty of time to chit chat. Cheyenne says, I have started my new book. Oh, wait, here it is. I have started my new book. In fact, I started it probably a couple of weeks after Secrets Told was published. Secrets Told was published in August, the middle of August, August 15th, and I began this book in September, maybe a week into September. And my writing productivity has not been like I like it to be, which is usually around 1,000 words a time. And one of the main reasons was Jack. We got Jack in April or May, and he has been taking up a lot of my time. So my writing, I know, has been affected by it. But we've got him into a routine, and he now, he is a dog that likes routine. My other dogs really didn't care about routine, but Jack, goes to bed at 8, gets up again at like I think 12 to go to the bathroom. He has his breakfast at 8. He has a treat like at noon, and then he has dinner at 6. And he will let me know by the minute when those times come up. And Jack has just got into this routine, that he is accustomed to. But my writing has suffered from it. I am on chapter 19 of the new book. It is going to be called A Daughter's Secret. As you know, Secrets Told is book 1 in the Secret series, but they're not connecting books. You can read these books in any order because every book is a different story, different characters. You won't see Patricia or Bryce in any of these books from Secrets Told because they're all standalones. But within the Secret series, one of the characters, probably the protagonist, has a secret, and that, of course, you would discover in the book. But this one's called A Secrets Told. I've finally gotten back into writing regularly every day. I hadn't been for a while, like 4 or 5 days would go by, and then I would be able to do some writing. And I didn't usually reach my $1,000 goal. I'm just going to read this real quick. I'm not making any big goals for next year. Maybe some small achievable goals like keep up with my reading challenge. There you go. Make them simple. Don't make them, where you're going to stress over your goals. But as far as I did some writing this morning, so I did actually 1,300 words this morning. So I'm getting back into the groove, as they say, of writing my next book. And starting in the new year, I will be talking more about it. I'm going to be sharing some of the excerpts from the book, but they will be raw. They might change. They might be deleted by the time the book's finished. There might be spelling mistakes because it'll just be copy and paste from Word, because it won't be edited yet. But I do want to share with you and give you some ideas of what the book's about. I haven't really been talking much about it because I didn't know where it was going. And I hadn't really gotten much into the book. But now that I'm on chapter 19, it's starting to unfold and I can see what's going on with the book. I can tell you now the book begins in Texas. And Molly is the protagonist. And the town that she lives in, oh gosh, I don't have my notes with me. It's called Round Rock, I think it is. Round Rock, Texas. It's supposed to be about 45 minutes out of Austin. She's in the suburbs. She's not in a little town. She's in the suburbs, well, a city, I guess. And then Montana is also going to be in the book. And in fact, I'm at the part where Montana is now showing up in the book. And this part of the book, the town is based on a small mountain community called Red Lodge, which is close to Yellowstone River. And the name of the name of the town is called Riverbanks. It is a fictitious town, but it's based on Red Lodge in Montana. And the reason why I wanted to make it a fictitious town is because Red Lodge is a very town that's tourist because it's close to Yellowstone. And I didn't want that for this book. There is some tourism in the town, but I didn't want it to be like Red Lodge, which is just full on tourists. It is also a ski resort. There's fishing in the Yellowstone River. So it's based on Red Lodge and it's called Riverbanks. So that is where the book is going right now, is to Montana. I'm enjoying getting to know Molly and her backstory. That's where I'm at right now, too, learning the history of Molly. But after the new year, and I've gotten into my writing groove, probably the next chat in January, the last Friday of the month, I will share with you probably the first part, not first part, but maybe the first chapter or first few paragraphs of the book, and just give you a little insight to the book. As far as when this book will be published, I would love to have been published by now. It's 6 months since the last book came out. I like to do 2 a year. But with so much going on, I am shooting for May. So I'm shooting for May to have this book published. Crossing fingers, I reach that goal. Sooner would be nicer. But let's see how the writing goes. I'm getting back on track. And, I'm excited about the next book. I want to go through the comments. I see a lot of, hold on, let me scroll back. Let me go back. Lori says, my goal is to keep helping authors, and you do a great job. We really, really appreciate it. Not just me, all the authors that you help. Really, really appreciate it. I'm just going to click on comments and read them. Jack trained you to be on his schedule. Totally. This dog is, yeah, he has me well trained, well trained. Uh, let's see what else we got here. And she says, that sounds very good. Cheyenne says it sounds very good. And also, no, oh, wait a minute. Slow down with the clicking, Tina. Oh, hey, Erilee, you're here too. Happy New Year. Also, keep up with reviews. I, and along with all the other authors, really appreciate reviews. They really help as far as Amazon's rating and Amazon pushing our books. It doesn't have to be a long, detailed review. You can just, say, you like it or whatever, maybe a few sentences, but it doesn't have to be a detailed review. But reviews really help authors on Amazon. And of course, there's other places you can leave reviews, Barnes & Noble, BookBub, Goodreads. They all help authors. I'm looking at my hair. It looks really frizzy. We've had like misty weather outside. I've been outside with Jack, so my hair's kind of frizzy. Oh, hi, Lori. Good to see you here. And she says, sounds good to me. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. And like I always say, I hope it will be worth the wait. Renee, I've got to slow down on my clicking. Renee says, you are doing great considering that you are writing and taking care of Gordon and Jack and all your other babies. I think so. Thank you. I'll give myself a pat on the back. Some days I do feel overwhelmed, but I enjoy what I do. I just, for me, especially now with Christmas out of the way, I have to get back into the routine of where I organize my time better. What I do is before I do anything like go on Facebook, anything that's not to do with my writing, I sit down at my loft and I write. It's the first thing I do before I do anything else. And then I'll go on and do maybe marketing or look at Facebook or whatever I want to do with regards to books. But the first thing I do when I come up here is write. And once that gets, burned out or, the juices are not flowing anymore, then I stop and I feel free to go do something else. But if I don't do the writing first, I'll get involved in something else. And before you know it, it's 5 o'clock in the evening and I haven't written a thing. So I always make sure that I do writing first before I do anything else. Laurie, how many people here do reading goals or challenges? That's a good question. Put them in the comments for Laurie. I wish I could read more. I'm lucky if I read one book a month, because it's always a toss-up between writing and reading. And as you all know, because I always say, is I read in the bathtub. That's when I read. It's where I have my privacy, I have peace and quiet, I have no one bugging me, and I go take a bath and read for an hour. There's some replies here to your question. I see some. I'm clicking too fast. Hold on. Renee says she does. I see a few here. A few says I do. Let me ask too, while you're answering this question, how many of you set a goal for 2024 and have reached it or surpassed it as far as your reading goals go? I'd like to know that one too. Virgie says she sets a reading goal. Erilee says she does. Robin says, I don't do goals because my family keeps me busy with appointments. I have to take them too. I love reading and I read every chance I get. Karen Giggling says, replying to Lori, she does. Chang says, why did you choose Texas as a setting? I'm not sure if I did, to be honest. As you know, my characters talk to me. And before starting the book, A Daughter's Secret, the name Molly kept popping in my head. And I kept asking myself, I don't know anyone called Molly, but I kept hearing this name Molly as I'm doing stuff around the house. And I knew, after a day or two that this is going to be my next book. This person, Molly, is in my next book. That's why this name kept popping in my head. I didn't know anyone called Molly. I don't know anyone called Molly. And that's when I start to just listen. Instead of asking questions, I just kind of listen. I might be doing the dishes. I might be vacuuming, whatever. But I just kind of listen. I'm not writing anything. I'm just kind of listening. And Molly kept coming into my head. And all of a sudden, the beginning of the book, where I started writing, she is, sitting in her small apartment. She lives in a small one-bedroom apartment, and she's sitting there at a laptop with her hands trembling. And then she mentioned, she's looked out her window in Texas. So, oh, okay, so we're going to Texas. So that's how Texas came about. Molly told me, but I didn't know the town or nothing. I just knew she was in the state of Texas. And it didn't come, the town of which she's at didn't come into my head until probably chapter 12. I just kept putting X's there when I'm writing the book because I had no idea where she was. I know nothing about Texas. And I just started reading about Texas. I knew that she was near Austin. And then, anyways, what came up was round. I can't remember the name. Is it Round Rock? Oh, here it is, Round Rock, Texas. Yeah, Round Rock, Texas is where she's at. So I didn't really think of Texas before writing the book. Molly told me, and it's the same in Montana. Molly's telling me, about Montana now. So that is how Texas came about. It's like when I wrote Secrets Told. The 3 states that are in the book I've never ever been to, and I did have to research all 3 of them. The main one being Alaska, and especially Hope, because that's where a lot of the story takes place. But the characters tell me, and then I just do my research to fill in the gaps or the blanks that they're not telling me, and to coincide with the story of what's going on. Hold on, let me. I've got all kinds of things coming up on my screen. Renee says, replying to Robin, okay, I'm looking at the chat here. Oh, Erily says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Lori says she does not keep a goal. Cheyenne says, I didn't complete my reading goal for 2024, a few books shy. You have a few days. We have, 4 days left of the year? Maybe you will, maybe. Never say never. So anyway, so that is what's going on. The other goal, I'm looking at some of these goals that I asked you. Renee says, I have passed mine was set at 75, and I should finish at, wow, 129. You really did pass your goal. Congratulations. I'm looking at some of these goals. Carol says, my reading goal was 52 books a year, but I've read 103 and reviewed them all on Goodreads. You doubled your goal. Excellent. Virgie says, I have surpassed my reading goal. I read 254 books this year. Wow. And 251 last year. I try to do at least one or more each year if I can. Congratulations. Oh, wow. That's a lot of books. Congratulations, ladies. What other goals do you have for 2025? Aside from reading, I've got writing on the brain here, but do you have any other goals that you want to try and do? I don't set New Year's resolutions. I don't think I really have, but I do with my writing. I do try and achieve goals as far as writing goes. And of course, one of the goals is finishing A Daughter's Secret and be published by sometime in May. I don't have an exact date yet. And as you know, I don't really get into dates until I've written the first draft. Then I kind of know where my time frame's going with the editor and the cover designer. But I have set a goal to have it published sometime in May. I'm hoping early May versus later May. Another goal I want to set, and I don't know if I can do this one or not because I say it to myself every year. We're coming up to January. October, I was going to try and have a Christmas book. For me, it's a far stretch to do it, but I have for the last 3 years wanted to write a Christmas book. And if I put my mind to it and have it accomplished, I can have it published by October. I'm telling myself that if I just write little bits and pieces of it, when I'm not writing A Daughter's Secret, it will come together. And then once The Daughter's Secret is with the editor, I can give it my full on and get it, written and published before October, because every year I look, the Christmas books start coming out in October, and it'll either be a full on standalone Christmas story or a collection of short stories. I don't know yet, but it'll be nice to have something published for Christmas. So that is another goal I am setting for myself. Whether or not I will do it, I don't know, but I'm gonna try. Robin asked, Tina, do you immediately write down notes as they come to you, even if you wake up during the night? I do not. Um, I do not. My characters talk to me, and I think they kind of leave me alone when I'm sleeping because I tend not to. The only time I wake up in the night is if Jack needs to go out to the bathroom because the doggy door is closed. But other than that, I sleep all night long, and I'm one of those people that don't remember dreams. Gordon remembers his dreams all the time. I might dream, but I don't remember any of my dreams. Um, and I think my characters just let me sleep. I've never once had to wake up and write down a note or something about, I got to remember this for the morning. I have not done that. Once I'm awake, though, and I'm not writing, but something pops into my head, I will stop what I'm doing. And if my phone is on me, I would quickly email myself something that, maybe Molly said to me or one of the characters said to me, because I'm not at my desk and I'm not writing it, but she did say something to me. So if that happens during the day, I will stop what I'm doing and either find a pen and paper, or usually my phone's on me most of the time. I'll just email it to me real quick. And then when I go back to my loft, my emails are there with the little notes. So I do that during the day, but during the night, I once I hit that pillow, my eyes are closed, I'll sleep through the night. Uh, it takes a lot. I'm a heavy sleeper. It could be, blowing wind outside or, you know, thunder and lightning. I won't hear it. I'm a very heavy sleeper. Gordon's the opposite. He's a light sleeper and he remembers his dreams. Laurie says she doesn't remember her dreams either. Let's see. I've got some more goals up here I'm going to put up. My goal is to stay healthy and hopefully get to go on vacation. My husband had his last radiation treatment December 23rd. Best Christmas gift either. Give your husband a big hug from us. I hope he's doing okay. I know it's been scary times for you, and I'm glad to hear he's done with his radiation, and now all he needs to do is get his strength back and, keep going forward. Keep going forward. Virgie says she does not keep resolutions. That's one I just read. Yep, I just did that. Okay. All right. The other goal, I'm not sure if it's a goal, but it's something. I got to stop pressing buttons. I keep saying that. It's something I want to do, but it just takes a lot of my time. And with everything I'm doing, that's one thing about self-publish. You have to wear a lot of hats, and you have to balance your time so you get your writing in, you get your marketing in, you get your editing in with your editor. There's so many things you have to do when you self-publish, but it's a choice I made, and it's one that I love because I'm my own boss and I'm in control of everything. But you do sometimes feel overwhelmed, and I have those days. But the other thing I want to do, but I have to research this first, is look for a literary agency. I feel like they can give me more reach as far as my books go versus just me doing what I can. And I still work with my dad's literary agency for they have been my dad's agent for 34 years. And I signed contracts for my dad's books in China, Japan, Germany, and it's because of the agent. It's because of them, doing the footwork to get those contracts. So I want to look for or start looking for and querying agencies for my books, but I have to, learn the steps to do that and what I need to have in order to accomplish that. So that's something I'm going to be looking into too, looking for an agent, probably for my books. And it won't happen overnight. It's going to be a lot of steps and a lot of researching and a lot of querying. But I feel like they will give me more of a reach being self-published. So that is something else I'm setting for myself. I think those are the three things on the top of my list. Is number one, finish as the Daughter's Secret, hopefully, or try to do some kind of Christmas story or short story collection, and start the steps of looking for an agent. How far or how many of those I'll accomplish? Well, Daughter's Secret will get accomplished, but the other two, I'm going to start doing that. And Laurie asked, could they help you also? Me and Gordon have gone back and forth about this. I have such a wonderful relationship with my dad's agent. They're in New York. They're a huge agency, but they only deal with sci-fi. They are science fiction agents. And like I said, we have a wonderful relationship, no pressure on either side. I do not want to put them on the spot of asking them if they could direct me to an agent. I don't want to put any waves in our relationship. I don't want them to feel, oh no, now Tina's going to start pressuring us to get her an agent, blah, 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 blah. I just don't want to ruffle any feathers with the agency, because if for whatever reason they decide to drop dad, that's it. We're done. I would not know where to look for an agent for my dad. And they've been with him for 32 years. My dad passed away 11 years ago. And they're brilliant. I signed 2 or 3 contracts a year. And I just don't want to ruffle any feathers or make them feel uncomfortable with the relationship we have by thinking, oh, now we got to help Tina with her books, because they don't deal with my genre at all. They are specifically science fiction agencies. So as of now, no, I've not even asked them, and I'm not sure I ever will, because like I said, the relationship we have with my dad's books is just brilliant, and I don't want to upset that. So, but I'll start doing the research and see how it goes with that. And Barbara is here. Hello, Barbara. How are you? Good to see you. Happy New Year. The other thing I want to talk about, moving on, I can't believe how fast this time goes. I also want to do a live read if I have time. I haven't read to you guys in a while. So I'm going to read a chapter from Secrets Told. And Laurie said that's understandable. Yeah, like I said, it's a brilliant relationship, and I really don't want to ruffle any feathers. And I just don't want them to feel uncomfortable if I start approaching them about agents. I'm just going to start doing the research and the footwork, even if it's just like 30 minutes a day that I can put in there just to begin the research and to figure out how to do a query letter. There's something else I got to learn, something else I need to, dig into and find out, but I'll get there, baby steps in the beginning, right? All right. The other thing I want to talk to you about is, let's see what I got on my notes here. I do have some other things coming out next year regarding my other books, if I ever get around to doing them. But the Sabella series is, as you know, an 8-book series, and also the short prequel. They're on ebook, they're on paperback, but I'm going to do some box sets on ebook for the series. I already have the covers made. My cover designer did a wonderful job. But as you know, I have an ebook collection. They call them box sets, but the ebook collection of the Tammy Mellors trilogy. You can get all 3 books as one set, and they're all ebooks. And I'm going to be doing that with the Sabella series. The covers are gorgeous. Once I get them formatted, I'll show you the covers for these. But it's going to be 3 box sets. There'll be, you'll get, Davin and book 1 and 2. And then box set 2 is books number 3, 4, and 5. And then box set number 3 is 6, 7, and 8. So it'd be 3 separate box sets. I could have put them all in one box set. There's a reason why I didn't do that. And the reason why is Amazon will only allow you to price your box sets at $9.99, the highest. I can't sell 8 books for $9.99. So that's why I split it up into 3 box sets, but it's still a lot cheaper than buying 3 ebooks. So that's going to be coming out sometime, I'm hoping by March. That's something I'm doing, and I can't wait to show you the covers, but it'll be 3 box sets for the Sabella series and in ebooks. So I'm looking forward to releasing that. I've actually had the covers for a while. I think she sent them to me in, I don't know, September. I just haven't had time to do the formatting and get them released. But it's on my list too, to do in the beginning of the year. So if you're looking for that, if you have not read the Sabella series and you do read ebooks, it's a great way to save some money and read them as a collection versus buying each individual ebook. So they'll be coming out hopefully by March, and that's something I want to talk to you about. And then the other thing that I skipped last week was the Couple and Ladder, because my next scheduled chat would have been on Christmas Eve. And I didn't want to ask any author to commit to a chat on Christmas Eve. We all have plans, some do, some don't, but I just didn't want to have a live chat on Christmas Eve. So my next live chat is scheduled for January the 6th. And in fact, her name is Rihanna Hammond, and she's a local author here in my community. We did a library event. Oh my God, when did we do this? I think it would have been September of last year, our local library here. She actually lives in Santa Clarita, which is the nearest city from Fraser Park. So she's about 40 miles away. But she drove up here for the library author book event where we were selling our books and meet and greet the author event at the library. So she came up here and we started talking, and I told her about my cup and a natter, and she booked a slot. So this is, where's her book? I had it somewhere. Hold on. It's right there. Hold on. I'll go get it. This is her book. And I'm going to read it hopefully before we chat on January the 6th. But it's based around Los Angeles. So I'm sure I know a lot of the places in this book. Like I said, she's a local author. We met at the meet and greet at the library. And I'm super excited to talk to her. Her name is, again, Rihanna Hammond. And hopefully you'll come join us. But I will definitely be posting prior to the chat, of course, with the book details, the links where you can find her. And I'm just excited to have a local author. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that is on, when did I say? January the 6th. That'll be the next chat, and I'll be posting about it next week. Christmas Eve was on Tuesday, but yes, that would have been crazy. Yeah, it was too close to Christmas. So that's why. Yeah, you're right. Christmas Eve was Tuesday, but it was too close to Christmas. So I just skipped the chat completely. What I want to do is read you a chapter from Secrets Told. I have not read you in a while. And being my latest book, I figured I'd read a chapter from here. I'm not sure how many of you have read the book. I don't like to pick a chapter that gives away anything. I think I read, when I was promoting the book, chapters 1 and 2. I might have extended to chapter 3. I don't remember. But what I'm going to read is chapter 3. It's a short chapter. It's not, I think it's a short chapter. It's not too long. Oh, and I have to say, the book, Secrets Told, this one right here, has been doing really, really well as far as sales go. The pre-orders were outstanding. Thank you to anyone that pre-ordered the book. But the sales have been really, really good since the release in August of this book. It has remained in the top 100 in its category every single day for the last 6 months. So I'm super, super pleased with how this book is being received, the sales of the book. And I just want to thank you. If you purchased the book, read the book, left me a review, I really, really appreciate it. I've written, oh my God, 16, 17 books, I have to say. I can't remember. This one has been my best released out of all the books I've released. And I'm also proud to say Reckless Beginnings was my debut novel. It is my number 2 bestseller. Of all the books that I sell, Reckless Beginnings remains to be a good sell. It is my number 2 bestseller. And again, thank you if you purchased it, read it, left reviews for it. But I am super pleased with the sales of Secrets Told. I really am. It's been in the top 100 for its category since it got released. And that feels good. It does feel good. Not the whole of Amazon. I do have to make a point. It's the category that's in, which is women's fiction, women's drama, family fiction. Not the whole of Amazon. It's within its categories, remained in the top 100. And that feels really, really good. So I'm going to read you chapter 3 from Secrets Told. The reason why I picked chapter 3 is I think a lot of you here may have read the book. And I know many of you followed me when I was doing the hops, when I was promoting the book before it came out. And I know I read chapter 1 and 2 a lot. I might have read chapter 3 here and there, but not too often. So I decided I'll just read chapter 3. It doesn't give much away. And if you haven't read the book, maybe you'll get enticed to want to know what chapter 1 and 2 are. So I'm going to read chapter 3 of the book. You know that the protagonist is Patricia and Bryce is her ex-husband. So chapter 3. Patricia listened to her voicemails in her Lexus after leaving the courtroom and headed back to the office. After skipping the numerous client messages which she planned to listen to in their entirety once behind her desk, she paused when she heard the familiar voice of Bryce and relaxed when he said he had the girls. Patricia planned to work late into the night at the office. It's what she always did when the girls were with Bryce for the weekend. She hated going home when they weren't there. She'd find herself moping around, missing them terribly, and had already given Letty, the nanny, the weekend off. At least she could go lose herself in her work, or to take out and not be reminded how lonely she really was without her girls. Since she and Bryce divorced 5 years ago, she hadn't dated. She didn't want to get wrapped up in another disappointing relationship. So instead consumed herself in her work, expanding her client list and her staff. It had paid off. She was recognized and respected by some of the top elites in New York who paid well to have her firm represent them and was invited to many important and highly publicized functions weekly. In her mind, she was the responsible parent, raising Savannah and Jewel with the best education money can buy, including music, dancing, and learning other languages, living in a beautiful 5,000 square foot corporate apartment overlooking Central Park in one of the most prestigious areas in Manhattan. She rolled her eyes as she pulled up onto the valet outside the West Chase building that housed her office when she thought about Bryce, who on a whim had packed up and left their marriage and bought a dairy farm in Connecticut. I still can't believe it, she hissed as she exited the car and gave a forced smile to Harry, the valet who'd been working at the building for as long as Patricia could remember. Standing stiffly, wearing black pants, a white dress shirt, and a royal blue vest, and white gloves, he stood to attention, holding her car door open. He nodded and smiled. "Good afternoon, Mrs. Levenick." Patricia forced a smile. "Hello, Harry," she said, grabbing her briefcase and cell phone off the passenger seat and approaching Lester the doorman, another long-time employee of the building, dressed in a black tailcoat and hat. Lester smiled, holding the door open to the building. "Working late again, I see," he said, wearing a professional smile. Patricia returned the smile. "You know I always do, Lester, when Bryce has the girls." "Have a good evening," Lester said, as Patricia strolled past him towards the elevator. It was after 5 by the time Patricia returned to her empty office. Everyone had gone home for the day, and she felt a little envious, knowing they'd all be with their families and loved ones for the weekend. She released a heavy sigh as she unlocked the double doors to her office and entered the dismal, quiet room. After she dropped her briefcase on the nearby brown leather couch, she sat in her desk chair and contemplated calling Bryce to see how the girls were doing, but then decided against it. She already knew the answer. Savannah would only go on about her pony and God knows what Jewel had been doing, besides catching fish, milking cows, and looking for chicken eggs. She dreaded to think. All the etiquette and manners she'd worked so hard to teach them were instantly thrown out the window when they spent a weekend on that awful farm with their father. And just when she'd gotten them back into their normal routine, it was time for them to visit Bryce again. For Patricia, it was frustrating and annoying. She had tried to express her concerns with Bryce as she didn't think it was good for the girls who were tramping around in mud and chicken coops, and she was afraid that Savannah could get seriously hurt while riding her pony. But Bryce had only laughed at her, his own response being, "Lighten up, Patricia. Let them be kids, for Pete's sake." She looked at the brass clock sitting at the head of the desk and saw that it was now almost 6:30, and even though she'd only had a bagel for breakfast, she wasn't hungry or in the mood to eat alone, and reached for today's meal piled on the corner of her desk. She combed through the envelopes, putting the manila envelopes aside, knowing they were legal papers that she'd deal with tomorrow. She opened a couple that looked to be official invites to more functions. She would have Leslie, her legal assistant, check her calendar and reply accordingly. After making a pile of letters she wanted to take home to work on, her phone dinged with a text message. She immediately saw it was from Bryce and stopped going through the mail and picked up her phone. She leaned forward, her forearms resting on her desk, and opened his text, and saw it sent a picture of Savannah on her pony. She rolled her eyes. "Why does he keep sending me these?" She had mud on her face and a hole in the knee of her jeans. As she zoomed in on the picture, Patricia shook her head in disgust. The second picture was a picture of Jewel, sitting in the dirt, hugging Bryce's Labrador. Good Lord, she's filthy and that dog may have fleas. Does Bryce even consider that? Of course not, she said aloud, her voice laced with disgust. She continued to scroll through the numerous pictures and gasped when she came to a picture of Jewel and Savannah, who looked to be sweeping out a chicken coop. What puzzled her the most was that both girls were smiling. "Good grief, Bryce, our girls are not free help on your farm." She immediately hit reply and began typing at lightning speed, fueled with anger. Bryce, why are you having our girls do your dirty work? This is not the idea of fun for any little girls. This is horrible. Why do you continue to make them do these filthy things? They are dirty and look like poor children. May I remind you that you're the one that loves to live on a farm? Quit trying to persuade Savannah and Jewel to like your ridiculous lifestyle. Unable to concentrate on her task of going through unable to concentrate on her task of going through the mail any longer, Patricia impatiently drummed her fingertips on the edge of the desk, waiting for Bryce to reply with an apology. She was instantly disappointed when she read his next text 2 minutes later. That began with 2 laughing emojis, fueling her frustration even more. Relax, can't you see the bloody smiles on their faces? They're having a ball. Do they ever smile that big when they're with you? His text had said. Patricia slammed down the phone, refusing to reply to his nonsense, and leaned back in the chair, her nostrils flared. When would he come to his senses? I thought this farm was going to be a temporary fad of his. But it's been going on for years, she hissed, pushing the chair back with force and marching over to the mahogany bar to pour herself a glass of brandy. After taking a large sip, she closed her eyes, allowing the soothing liquid to slide down her throat and help suppress her anger. She turned to the large floor-to-ceiling windows that spanned one entire wall of her office and looked down at the still busy streets below at Manhattan. Why would anyone leave this amazing city? There are fortunes to be made here, and I'm just getting started. She took another large sip of brandy and smacked her lips with satisfaction after swallowing. Why did you give all this up, Bryce? I don't understand it. I've never understood it. And you wanted me to drop everything I've worked so hard for and follow you to go live on a dairy farm. She released a loud laugh. Ha! It's the most ridiculous idea you ever had, and you've had a few. Patricia shook her head and laughed again before pouring herself another glass of brandy and returning to her desk. For a few minutes, feeling calmer, her anger diminished, she leaned back and sipped on her drink, savoring the flavor as it coated her mouth and throat, trying not to think of the pictures of Savannah and Jewel being subject to filth. After composing herself and shaking her head a few more times, she set down her glass on the desk and resumed going through the mail. She paused when the letter with the return address of an attorney in Alaska caught her attention. She wasn't representing anyone from that state and was puzzled that an attorney would be contacting her. She reached across the desk for her gold-plated letter opener and carefully slid it along the lip of the envelope. She pulled out the single-page letter and began reading. After pursuing the first paragraph of the introduction, she leaned forward. Her jaw dropped and her eyes grew wide, like she'd just seen a ghost. Her face turned pale and her hands shook as she continued to read the letter, shocked by the news. You have to be kidding me, she whispered under her breath. There you go. I'm going to leave it at that. That was chapter 3. I hope you enjoyed it if you haven't read the book. And if you have read the book, I hope you enjoyed listening to chapter 3 again. Lori, thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. And Karen, I appreciate that. And I know you all love it too when we do the cuppa and the natter, when the authors do a live read. Would love to. Well, you just did. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. It's kind of hard sometimes to do a read from an excerpt so you don't give away too much, especially to those that have not read the book. But I do like to, when I do a solo chat, just read a little bit. Could be from any of my books, but this one being the latest, I wanted to read from that one. Let me see how are we doing on time. Oh, it's almost 3:00 already. Can you believe it? I can't believe it's been an hour already. But I think I covered everything. It just feels good to have a nice solo chat with you and catch up after the holidays. And also, I wanted to also say for those of you that participated in the ornament exchange this year, it was a huge success. We had a lot of people sign up. All of the gifts were beautiful. I love it when you post the pictures of your gift that you received. But we had the most members sign up this year, and it was a lot of fun organizing it. I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed seeing readers connect in the group, meet new friends. There's been some friendships that have, continued on through the ornament gift exchange. So that was our 3rd year of doing it, and we're definitely doing it again next year. And we didn't have no bad where someone didn't follow through. There was nothing bad happened. I'm always afraid that someone will sign up and for whatever reason, things happen in life. I get that. Or you might have forgotten, but because I feel bad for the person that, is their partner. But anyways, everything worked out great. It went really smoothly. There was no flakes, no nothing, and there's a lot of fun. So I am looking forward to doing that again next year and having it continue to grow. The Christmas party was a great success too. It was again the most authors we've had sign up. So all in all, it was a good Christmas week. And thank you to all of you that joined in, participated, signed up. And if you won a book, congratulations. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. But I am going to wrap it up. And gone by really, really quick. Like I said, my next chat for my author will be the local author on January the 6th. I will see you in the new year. Happy New Year. Be safe out there, be merry, and let's all stay healthy and have a good year. All right, everybody. Love you, and I will see you in the group. Take care.